Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, and today I'm installing a new intercooler, doing the TGV deletes, and also unplugging the EGR. And I got a couple more parts, but they're more on the bottom of the car and don't feel like doing it today, so I'm gonna do it like maybe tomorrow. It's a charge pipe, the electronic boost controller solenoid by Grimspeed. So I really wanted to get this Grimspeed intercooler because from what I've read, it's the best on the market for top mounts, and some people get front mounts, but I don't think it's necessary because you already got this awesome scoop. I don't see the point, honestly. There's so much air flowing in. You gain like 30-40 horsepower just from that at high RPM, and the reason is the tuner is able to increase the boost more because the compressed air gets cooled better. So I'm gonna get started, see how it goes. So, the only thing I'm unsure about is if the strut bar will fit over the intercooler. Like right now there's a lot of clearance, but the Grimspeed intercooler is much thicker than this. Plus, I don't know how it's gonna sit exactly, but we're gonna just line it up and see. So I'm gonna start with the intercooler and just work my way down to the TGV deletes and then get the EGR disconnected here underneath. And that should do it. And so my process is, as usual, everything that's taken off, like the bolts and nuts, they go into the bin. Try to label every bolt so that I know exactly where they came from. You want to make sure you don't drop anything to the bottom, but if you do, it's not a big deal. Most of the time it'll fall right through because there's nothing there underneath the intercooler. But if you drop anything here, it's just the skid plate on the bottom. You can just unclip it or use one of those magnetic things. So the intercooler is loose now. All I have to do is take the couplers off. So all you have to do is just wiggle it like this and it'll come out of here, and then that side's pretty easy. Just like that, just sort of force it out. So for TGV deletes, it's pretty simple. There's just 12mm bolts here. There's 8 of them, and the whole thing just lifts up a little bit. So you slide the stock units out, and that's pretty much it. Sounds like I'm breaking something, but I guess it's kind of fused to the plastic. So finally ready to take the TGVs out. I'll post a link in the description about the video how to do this, because there's a bunch of stuff you have to take out, like the EGR bolts for the bracket here, and the bolt for the bracket here, and then what else I already forgot, but anyway, basically just lift it up and I should be able to slide the TGVs out. Oh, about time. So these are it, torque solution. So I was worried at first about not knowing which one goes to the left and right, but it's actually pretty easy. I mean, as you can see, it's very subtle, but this one sticks out less than this side, so there's really no way to mess it up. And torque solution logo obviously goes upright, so this one is the left side passenger, and this one's the right. So just got everything done finally. It took about 3 to 4 hours, and the most difficult bit was the intercooler. Didn't expect that. Super tired, and yeah, so the challenging bit was just sliding it into place, making sure that I don't bend the back of it on the, there's a slave cylinder and there's a bunch of other things underneath. So you want to just be super careful maneuvering it, like, I don't know, you got to be like super gentle. The TGV deletes were easy. EGR unplug was super easy, and it's kind of tricky to find. It's hiding right underneath, the throttle body space. and you'll see it once you look into it. And just make sure you don't unplug the wrong thing. And it's pretty self-explanatory. It's plugged right into the piping for EGR. Just unplug it, electric tape it, and call it a day. And I'm gonna start the car, making sure everything works. Not trying to like chase any crazy power numbers. Just want it to be super fun, like nice slow end torque, reliable, and just smooth. Of course, a little bit more power. Why not? Yeah. All right. See you guys later. Finally got everything done. Was way too tired, so had to put the scoop on the next day. Car runs awesome. The idle is smooth, much smoother than, well, I guess quite substantially smoother than before with the deletes. I don't know which delete smoothed out the idle, but I'm guessing it's TGV's, because I don't know, they open and close it idle. My favorite thing about the scoop replacement is that the way it lines up. I mean, when you close the hood, you can see like the seal is perfect, compared to the stock one, which was super flimsy rubber. I don't know how effective that was, but I guess for stock, it's pretty effective. But yeah, I mean, like when you close the hood, you can see it lining up like perfectly. And the best part of it is that I get to keep my strut bar. To be honest, I didn't notice much difference with the strut bar when I installed it, but I really like the look. It's like super nice, kind of like a cherry red finish. The only thing left to do is the charge pipe and the boost controller solenoid. Pretty much all on the bottom. I have to get under the car. Didn't feel like doing it this weekend. Kind of ran out of energy, motivation. The things to keep in mind when you install a new intercooler is just be very careful with the slave cylinder on the bottom. You can easily bend the bottom of the intercooler. So just grab it with both hands and just maneuver it in place. And yeah, it'll kind of make sense when you get to it. And I guess I suggest putting the black cover on once the intercooler is installed. I did it the opposite. I put everything on and then put the intercooler in. But, I managed to squeeze it in. It was a tight fit. I guess also the strut bar is in a way. I guess I should have taken it out, but nah, didn't want to deal with it. So also installed the heat shield for the intake. It looks cool. I'm thinking of making my own little intake box, because this intake doesn't have a box. I don't feel like buying anything. It's like over $100. Yeah, I can make something out of carbon fiber. Like, I don't know. I'll figure something out for the next video probably. So with this intercooler, you obviously can't use your stock engine cover. So looks so much better without it, to be honest. But for those who really want to use the hood cover, I guess you have to sort of trim around where the stock intercooler set. It's gonna look pretty ugly too. I'd just suggest taking it off. See you in the next one, guys.